Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time to discover this topic, capturing the beauty wave. I love that part in the video. Everyone deserves to feel confident. Everyone.
Thank you.
Let's dig deeper into that. We have to start off with some numbers, so just bear with me. So Indonesia is projected to become the world's fourth largest economy by 2045. Earlier today, I heard that Indonesia is already the fourth largest country by population. 2045 is not too far away. In terms of in dollar sense, I was also told that the Indonesia beauty and personal care market is already clocking $6 billion in US dollars just this year alone. Seems like a tremendous market, but would love to hear from the operators. Maybe firstly turning to Yaumi and Judith first. Can you help the audience just to understand how big is the opportunity in Indonesia's beauty market today and compared to 10 years ago, and share maybe what the triggers are?
Okay, maybe I can start. Hey everyone, my name is Yaumi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Base, #1 of vegan beauty brands in Indonesia. So if you go to Plaza Senayan downstairs and if you see Watsons, you can actually go and see, like, touch and feel our products. But technically we will prepare some of the products for you in the back after the session ends, so you can try yourselves. So we have spanning across several categories within the beauty industry. For Base, we have skincare, color cosmetics, body care, and also we have fragrance under different brand. But technically, revert back to your question, I think regarding like how big is the opportunity. As compared to 10 years ago, right? I think Indonesia beauty industry is thriving as much, and I think we saw a lot of like local beauty brands actually enter the market. And one of the things that we also see as a business players, by 2028, actually Indonesia beauty market will be projected to hit 10 billion US dollar, and that's a huge pie for everyone to actually come in. I think we are entering the market at the right time, and one of the things that I see as a potential opportunity as well, right? If we compare Indonesia maybe with South Korea like 16 years ago, I think we as Indonesian, we're quite familiar with Japanese beauty brand, right? But not so much about like Korean beauty brands. But looking at Korean, they're kind of becoming the, like a mecca of like beauty innovations right now. And I kind of believe with the right ecosystems that we have here, because we have a lot of like potential manufacturing that we are working with. And the second, we are not lacking of the manpower in terms of like the formulators and also like R&D people that can work together with brands in the lab. I think if we have the right ecosystem, we can grow even faster and maybe becoming the mecca of the beauty industry in Southeast Asia. No, to you, maybe Judith.
Yes, thank you, Shervone and Yaumi. So I think, yes, that's true that the beauty market in Indonesia is now very big. But in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, it is valued at around $4.5 billion. And which is in 2028, it will be projected to be 10 billion. So we can see that the growth is very exponential. And I think a lot of that is driven by the GDP per capita, which is very, also have a very big growth. And we also have a rapid urbanization that emphasizes on the beauty market as well. So a lot of the urbanization is leading these people to personal care and beauty products as well. And as Base and Diri Care, we have a lot of beauty brands and personal care brands that are emerging in the local environment. They are doing a lot of new innovations, which is very different from what we were 10 years ago. Because I remember 10 years ago, I couldn't find, apart from probably like Paragon or Mustika Ratu, I couldn't find a good local product. But nowadays, there's a lot of really good beauty brands out there. So I think the growth is also backed up by, we have a large younger populations right now. The millennials, the Gen Zs, and even now entering the market is Gen Alpha, right? They are also very, they like to experience new products. And that is doing really good for our beauty industry as well. So a lot of things that are happening right now, especially of course the government support as well, is really important to the growth to the industry.
Thank you. So it sounds like market is growing, factors are aligning. You have the talent base, the infrastructure, the raw materials on the supply side, and on the demand side, strong GDP growth, huge buying and growing consumer purchasing power, and a population right now that is very open to change and trying new brands. And more importantly, I guess, is also developing brands and products that is more suitable for the local population. Excellent, thank you. So maybe turning to Armand. As a lifestyle health digital clinic, how do you position yourself in the beauty market? I mean, you are obviously the only gentleman sitting here. So, I mean, Diri is very different. So if you can just help the audience to understand, how do you position yourself, and how big is the market for beauty clinics in Indonesia compared to other markets?
Thanks, Shervone. So yeah, a little bit unique about ourselves, Diri Care. So we are a healthcare technology company. We have a deep focus in building an integrated, tech-enabled, best-in-class aesthetic clinic experience for modern consumers who are more and more looking for an omni-channel solutions to satisfy all their lifestyle health needs. Now, to build on what Yaumi and Judith mentioned earlier, there is another angle to dissect into big beauty industries umbrella. The first that already mentioned is what we call like cosmetic beauty, right? These are the bigger size market where there are a lot of incumbent players starting from the multinational companies, the P&G, Unilevers, Estee Lauders, and so on, right? All the way to the wonderful up-and-coming brand from the local side. And the main differentiation between the cosmetic and the clinical beauty is two things. First is in the type of the product, and second thing is in the distribution channel itself. So for the cosmetic beauty, the product that is being sold is what typically called OTC, over the counter, meaning that these products can be easily and freely sell in various distribution channels. So you can sell it on e-commerce, marketplace, all the way to the offline channels, right? Your own stores, general trade, modern trade, and so on. Whereas, and on the other side of the spectrum, there is a clinical beauty. This is an interesting one because not a lot of people are familiar with, but actually also is very sizable industries. The brand who typically play in this subcategory are typically a traditional offline beauty clinics. So that can range from a single clinic all the way to large nationwide clinic chain. Maybe if some of us live in Jakarta knows some of the name, right? Like Erha, Zap. So there are a wide range of variety there. And the main difference on the products is that it is called a prescription grade product, meaning that the ingredient, the active ingredient that could be put in the product is much more potent and can be of a higher concentration compared to the limit that is being set for over-the-counter products. And this is where Diri Care plays in. So over the last 2 years, what we realized is actually, number one, why don't we digitize the distribution of these clinical grade products into a broader mass populations? Previously, before we come in, the only way for the customers to get these products is to go offline to the offline clinic, right? And in Jakarta, as we all know, just going out from our home, 3 hours of traffic jam, and then waiting in line in the clinic, right? That is so painful. So after we come upon realizations that, all the consultations, the diagnosis, the prescriptions, all the way to the delivery of the products could be done via 100% online. So that is what we embark on the journey. And ultimately, what we've been able to do is to unlock the access for the broader mass populations who typically before this always trying to search for solutions, different OTC brands, but finally they're able to complete their self-care journey together with us with this more potent, stronger efficacy ingredients.
Thank you. So really being able to enjoy something that is much more effective, personalized at the comfort of your home, getting it when you want it, how you want it. Excellent, thank you. So switching on to talk about brand loyalty amidst brand switching behaviors. The pandemic saw a wave of companies, I'm told about 20 new beauty companies every single month coming into the market, and you also have foreign brands who are coming in aggressively into the Indonesian market. Coupled with the fact that the rising generation of the Gen Zs as you mentioned, Judith, that they are extremely open to switching brands. So how are we tackling this issue today? Maybe first to you, Yaumi. How are you building brand loyalty amidst this rising brand switching behavior and with across today's crowded landscape?
Okay, Shervone, that's a really, really good question. Every time we do meeting like a potential new partner, one thing that they ask is that you're playing in the beauty market, and we know that it's a very crowded sector, especially in the emerging market, right, like Indonesia. And how do you ensure that you guys are one, staying relevant, and then the second thing is that how are you going to ensure that you are having a high LTV? So I think like one of the things that we always told the potential partner is that, do you know like how many beauty brands right now selling their products in Indonesia? Do you have any idea in terms of number? You can guess.
If we are talking about 20 new brands every month, I think just locally Indonesia brands alone since COVID will be like what, 600 over brands?
Okay,
1,000 brands?
Almost close. So technically, like we receive a report from TikTok Shop by Dance because we are working closely with them. So by December 2023, right, they mentioned that there are like 70,000 of beauty brands playing and 70,000 of like beauty brands selling their products in Indonesia alone through their platform. And I think we need to be aware like what is the landscape of the market here, but then again, I always try to see the bigger picture, right? So we have a potential market by 2028 on the $10 billion US, and I believe there is a pie for everyone. So right now is that how can you ensure that you find the right target market for your products? And second thing, as you mentioned, like ensuring that they are staying relevant and loyal to you. I think like we are having several categories right now in our umbrella. For skincare, definitely LTV is important because it's something when you trust, you like the product, you will repurchase, right? That is one. But second, we know that there is a product that will be functioning as a traffic and volume driver, meaning there will be likely less any repurchase from these users, but they will collect and they will keep purchasing when you have more variants, such as color cosmetics like lipstick, right? You like the color, you like the texture, you buy it from this brand and you will get more colors. For example, I have like 8 shades of our products within Gloss and Gold Tint because I like all these colors just because I like the colors, right? So I think like that's really important, and that's where the candy effects of the products is coming in. And I think we as a beauty business entrepreneurs, we need to be able to distinguish which of the products that can be used as a repeat LTV engine and which of the products that can be used as a traffic driver and a volume driver. So I think like for body care and skincare is definitely is the one that we will put more effort towards the repeat purchases through what? So we can understand that for them, once they like the formula, they will keep purchasing it. So that's why CRM engine and also like retargeting is really important for us. For example, like our revenue driver, more than 70%, 75% coming only from 3 products. So one of it is the serum that you just saw, like the like videos before I come into the stage. So I think for us right now is that to understand like what can we do for these loyal users, right? So they can keep repeating and they're not switching. So for example, most of the users of our serum, the anti-aging one, actually is a mom. They kind of like mom to be millennials mom, Gen Z's mom. And the reason why they're using our products because they love our products because it's like vegan and vegan associating with safe, right? So for pregnant women and breastfeeding, you couldn't use retinol. And that's already in paper. You can search it on Google. It's very easy because it can, affecting quite badly towards your child development. So the reason that, so we can see that mother is really important community that we need to, important stakeholder for us. So we do a lot of like activities to engage them to ensure that they keep reminding that our product is the best option for them during pregnancy for anti-aging products, so something like that. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. So you need to have some core products by quality and taking care of the stakeholders. And once they come to your platform, you will then give them more variety.
Yes, correct.
Interesting. Thank you. To Judith, what are some of the key trends and observations that you see?
I think it's right what Yaumi just said, because I see a lot of our younger generations, probably also moms, are switching to environmental friendly products, cruelty-free products, sustainable products, because it has becoming an issue that is very important, especially for the younger audiences. besides from being safe, I think the younger generations are now very aware of how it is important to save the earth. So that's one of the observations that I see. And then I also see a lot of brands doing innovations like a mix between makeup and skincare. So innovations like that, there is more effective for the users, so they can buy one product, but they can use it as both. Probably like a lip tint that can also be a lipstick, something like that. And I also see a lot of locally sourced ingredients from Indonesia that is emerging from brands, because it is one, it can be cheaper, and two, it is more suitable for Indonesian skin. So a lot of what we saw probably 10 years ago is brands replicating what the multinational brands do, but not necessarily as fit to the skin types of Indonesian people or Asian people. So a lot of brands right now I see are locally sourcing their ingredients, and that is also one of the big trends. But one thing that I might want to add is it's really big. The number is 70,000, new beauty brands this year only.
Last year, I believe the number is increasing because we saw a lot of like brands coming from China.
Wow, that's a really huge number. But I can see from doing Beauty Fest Asia for a couple of, well, this is our 7th year. So I can see that a lot of brands are emerging, but also a lot of them are going away in such short period of time. So it's really important for brands to really, I really agree with what you said. They have to innovate and they have to keep producing new products and SKUs so they can emerge with the same trends that are infiltrating the Gen Zs and the young millennials and so on, or whatever the audience are. So it's important to be sustainable as well, and the distribution process is also very important, because a lot of brands, they are huge in probably in online presence, but they don't really do a lot in distribution. So it's only Jakarta centric, whereas Indonesia is, we want everybody to be able to buy, right? So distribution is also something that I can see very important in the future.
Got it. Thanks for sharing the trends and observation. Staying on brand loyalty, to Armand, given that there are so many new brands, how can Diri emerge and build a strong brand loyalty?
Yeah, that is a very interesting question, because there are several business decisions and deliberate strategy that we made in order to achieve superior customer loyalties. So the first one is going back to the product. What we're playing is a clinical beauty products, a prescription grade 1. This is heavily personalized based on the conditions and based on after the diagnosis from a doctor's. So it's going to be an accurate diagnosis towards the conditions, and then a targeted prescription specific for each of the conditions of the patients. And inherently, this is a much more potent, stronger products that will give a better, faster result, and also give a long-lasting effect. And the typical loyal customers that we have is an acne fighters, hair loss warriors. These people has been struggling with the conditions all their life, trying to, multiple different brands. But unfortunately, given the genetics conditions, for example, they do have a much more propensity towards moderate to severe acne prone. And the way for them to get better is by using a prescription grade product. My wife is actually a prime example. She's been struggling since high school with PCOS conditions. Maybe some of the female know, right? Yeah, so every time she has the monthly cycle, right, it starts to break out and so on. And those kind of conditions are much better to be solved with the prescription grade products. So that is on the product side. And then second thing is leveraging our technology. We have our own Diri apps. It's available on iOS App Store and also Google Play. That is the epicentrum of all of our business, all of our interactions from the patients to the medical provider, the care team that we have. And using these technologies, we're able to provide a free, unlimited, ongoing care with the clinical team. So the customers, our patients, can chat, can talk with the doctors anytime they like, as long as they continue to refill the prescriptions and buy our products. So this in itself become a very, very strong ways for us to retain our customer loyalties and engagement with us. And in addition to that, we're also able to give a lot of nudges, reminders, follow-ups. Our clinical team also proactively reach out to our customers. Hey, it's been 3 weeks since your last chat with us. Just want to check in. How are things going? What's the progress been? And we encourage the patients to ask anything they like, starting from trivial question as simple as, oh, I have a wedding tomorrow or this EV Summit event. Can I use makeup on top of the day cream or night cream? You know, those kind of questions, which if it's a traditional offline clinic will be very, very difficult, right? To reach out to the doctors just to ask those kind of questions. And yeah, our customers, our patients loved it. And it helps to give us a very strong quarterly repurchase rate, 65, 75%. Which, yeah, going back to the integration, right, between the technologies and the products, that is something that we are truly focusing on.
Excellent, 75% is amazing. Yeah. So multi-prong on that front. Excellent. Turning to Yaumi, since we talk about the Gen Zs, who are now the emerging consumers, right? Will you be able to share with us how different are they in terms of behavior and how has that informed your product strategy as well as your marketing strategy?
Okay, thank you so much, Shervone. So I think like for Gen Z, right, they're the generation that I would say growing a bit differently than millennials. So millennials, when we grew up, the only social media network that we have, of course, we have MSN, right? Who remembers those days? And then we have Friendster, Facebook on early days, guys. And then like suddenly there's like the Gen Z is like growing up, right? And I believe the first encounter of social media that they play, of course, is Instagram, and then they move on into like, I believe there's Snapchat, and then there's like TikTok, obviously. And I think the way they perceive like the digital world, I think a bit different. It's like more no limitation and no cross borders. So they become more and more aware on what's happening, especially within the beauty industry. For example, so one of the product that is really viral in the US is like two brands. One is like Rose Beauty by Hailey Bieber, and then the second is that the Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, right? It's very massive brands on Sephora. You can find it on every Sephora retailers, and it's becoming really viral there. In particular, for example, like Rose Beauty tinted lip balm, right? It's not a new SKUs actually. Isn't old SKUs. We've been doing that, and we've been knowing that product for a while, but because of that, the celebrity effect, I think, and the form is a little bit different. It's giving you like a very nice instant plumping lips and everything. They're becoming like more demanding on like, how can I get this kind of products? But for most Indonesian younger consumers, Rose Beauty is really expensive, right? It's around like a 30 SGD, Singaporean dollars, more like 300,000 rupiahs for one single product for tinted lip balm, for God's sake. And this is posing like a challenge for us. How can we see the demand there, they want it, but I couldn't find a substitute for that. So from product standpoint, Ratih, my co-founder there, is like the chief of our product R&D. Think quickly on how can we launch this kind of product fast. So we can actually like try to tap into the opportunity and riding on the wave. So this kind of product typically becoming our volume driver. It's very cheap, but it will sell high in volume. So something that is really important for us as a business to understand what do these consumers want from the product standpoints. And I think from like the branding standpoints, like referred back to Judith's points, right, regarding sustainability. Since we're like a vegan beauty brand, it means that we also care doing like an ethical business practice. Sustainability is in our core values, and I think that's the brand values that also the Gen Zs would like to see, and even like the younger generation, like Gen Alpha, would like to see. So I think like we do two things, like from like the branding positioning and also like product innovation. It has to be walking hand in hand. Yeah, I think that's the important key metrics for us to ensure that we stay relevant with these younger audiences.
Amazing, thank you. I do want to ask one last question, if I may. Post-pandemic, and we talk about during pandemic what has evolved. Post-pandemic, what are your views on online-first companies looking at their strategy now?
So I think for online first brands, it's really important to do offline penetration because it builds trust, right? And customer experience. And beauty is something that's very personal, that you have to use it, you have to taste, you have to smell it to understand if it's right for you. So for online first brands, offline presence is very important, and that's why Beauty Fest Asia is here, so we can give that offline experience to our audience, which is the beauty enthusiast. And I can see that a lot of the beauty enthusiast market is growing, because the first Beauty Fest Asia that we did, it is 2017. We had 6,000 audience over the course of 2 days. And this year, 2024, over the course of 3 days, we gained almost 50,000 audience. So the growth is very exponential. And I think it's also because a lot of people have higher education and they understand more about the importance of beauty and ingredients. And as Armand says, that there is a lot of people that is actually demanding it, but they didn't know that the products were there. So it's really important for the most successful brands like Base and Diri that they have both online, also offline, because for offline first brands, it's also very important to have online presence so they can compete and do the younger audience, because the younger audience find the brands in TikTok and in social media as well. That's what I think.
Sure. Yeah, a quick one. Yeah, I truly believe in that. Definitely, that's why omnichannel is at the forefront of our strategy. Two things. First, we want to increase the offerings, right? The clinical beauty offerings for our customers. Right now, we're able to disrupt the market with the product. But then, for example, for our customers, our acne customers, after they get better with the skin, now the next concern is acne scar. And the best treatment for that is microneedling, laser, right?
I should try.
Yes. And in order to try that, you can't do it at home. You need to go to an offline beauty clinics, go with the doctors, right? And hence, that's why we also already have a lot of organic demand from our customers asking, hey, when is the clinic will be open? So that's the first one. And then the second one is in terms of Indonesia, right? Going back to Indonesia, like it or not, although our country is already very, very tech savvy, ultimately, if you want to build a nationwide brand recognitions, you do need to go offline. That's the best way to go. And yeah, that's why it's in our pipeline right now. We're gonna start to create an offline beauty clinic. We call it a novelty concept. It's called Neo Clinic. If it's a fintech, you're probably familiar with Neobank, right? This Neo Clinic will redefine the aesthetic experience of customers when they're trying to consume the clinical beauty offerings that we are going to innovate and give a fresh take on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry to interject. We have only 1 minute to wrap up.
Yeah, so I guess that is a wrap. So ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our panelists for sharing all the insights and opening our minds beyond all the pretty things. Thank you.